OK, morning show at East Coast FM. We've been hearing about this proposed scheme for quite a long time, but it's set against the context of worry. Will the country have enough money in the coffers from the current account of our finances to pay pensions in the future? Now, the government faces an uphill task getting the word out about its plans for this new mandatory pension scheme. What exactly is that? Hannah Drennan is Senior Financial Advisor at Rockwell Financial. Hello to you, Hannah.
Hi, Declan. How are you keeping?
Good morning to you. Yeah, we've been hearing quite a lot about this over the last 10 years or so. What's the status of it at the moment and how would it work?
Well, essentially, the Minister of Social Protection has presented the final design for this auto-enrollment scheme, and the goal is to bridge the pension gap. So it's going to be essentially all employees of a certain criteria are included in a pension scheme. So if you're currently earning more than €20,000 gross per year, if you're aged between 23 and 60, and if you're not already a part of a pension scheme, you'll automatically be enrolled in a plan whereby you're funding towards your retirement.
OK, so the money be taken from you out of your salary as such, and that goes to being in a pension fund?
Correct, yeah. So the auto-enrollment is going to be a portion from yourself, a portion from the employee, and then a top-up from the state as well. So for now, they have, I suppose, advised that it's going to be roughly about 1.5% of the employee's salary from employee and employer, and then a top-up of about 0.5% from the state as well.
OK. Who's going to manage those funds?
So it is going to be managed by the Minister of Social Protection. So it's a government agency, essentially. So in terms of control, you're going to be given most likely maybe an option of, say, 4 funds for the employees to invest their pensions into. And like that, it'll be completely managed by the government. So kind of takes the control away from the employer. It also kind of takes away the options in terms of, risk, appetite to risk and overall comfort with investing from the employee as well.
Right. And is there an opportunity to opt out or is it you're in? Because I saw the word mandatory. Does that mean, take it or leave it, you're in?
Yeah, no, so there will be an opt-out option. So they say essentially after 6 months of being enrolled, you will have the option to opt out of it. At that point, you will have the option to get a refund as well of the contributions, but only from yourself. The state and the employers won't be obviously refunded to yourself, but automatically you will be re-enrolled after 2 years again. So it is mandatory, and I think the way that they're phrasing it is more so there's an opt-out option as opposed to an opt-in option, if you know what I mean. So it's very much going to be an obligatory scheme that you will pay into, regardless of how many times you need to postpone it or opt out of it. They will keep enrolling you to keep the money tipping away.
Right. So there's still freedom to invest in a private pension, presumably, because it's your money and you join something. But what about the state pension?
So the state pension will stay as is. We still watch and see kind of the age that they're going to be willing to pay the state pension and the level that they're going to be able to pay as well. But I think the auto-enrollment is going to be very, very beneficial for those who are earning, and a single individual earning, say, less than €42,000 per year. Because if an individual was, paying into their own pension, because as you know, employers aren't obligated to pay into their employees' pension. So if the likes of myself, if I wanted to do a pension, if my company, Rockwell, didn't supply one, I would be able to put money in and I would get tax relief based on my income tax bracket. Now, if I'm a lower taxpayer, like that up to 42 grand, I'm only going to get 20% relief off my contribution. So the auto-enrollment is going to be quite beneficial for those because, like I said earlier, there's going to be a top-up from the employee and a top-up from the state. So roughly, they should be getting about 25% kind of relief, quote-unquote. Whereas for those who are earning more than €42,000, we're kind of capped in what we're going to be able to put into it because they will only kind of contribute towards the highest salary. At the moment, it's predicting to be about 80 grand. So it's kind of backing higher earners into a corner. And then from an employer's perspective as well, it's not the most, I suppose, beneficial benefit package. So if an employer is looking to, I suppose, entice and reward or retain their staff, they probably should start to get the ball rolling with organising their own pension scheme. And that way they won't be obliged to go by the auto-enrollment rules and caps.
Is it transportable if you change jobs?
It will be, yes. So the idea is that this is going to be going towards an overall pension pot towards the end when you do get to retirement. So that way we're not fully, I suppose, relying on the state pension as the main foundation of our retirement income. Ideally, we have this private pension, this auto-enrollment scheme, or like that, a private pension scheme that your employer has sorted out for you. And the state pension is more so a top-up of that from ages, say, 66 or 68.
Okay, Michael in Wicklow Town, what about the self-employed?
So the self-employed is a fantastic note. So anyone who is self-employed at the moment, there's been massive changes within the pension rules and regulations. So I would highly recommend for each individual self-employed to contact financial advisors to see what you can be doing. But essentially, depending on whether you're a sole trader or whether you have a limited company, you can fund your own pension essentially, and also take advantage of some additional tax breaks as well. So it does depend on the type of work that you're doing and the type of structure that you're working under for a self-employed. But I would say definitely speak to a financial advisor. That'd be kind of one of our main areas here at Rockwell as well.
But you won't be automatically signed up to the state one,
no.
Will you? You won't. Okay.
No.
Fair enough. So one last thing, Social Protection Minister Heather Humphreys has insisted it's this year. I think I spoke to Regina Doherty, who's now a senator, when she was in government about this a long, long time ago. Is it going to happen this year?
Sorry, Declan, say that one more time for me. My line lagged on me.
Yeah, is it going to happen this year? Because I've been hearing from various government ministers over the years that it is imminent, but is it imminent or not now?
Look, it has been a long time coming, absolutely, but the way that it's been painted to even ourselves within the financial institution is the fact that it will be here by the end of Q1 2024. So I would be very confident to say that this is coming into play, and for employers to get the ducks in a row in terms of their benefit package for those employees, and also just for employees to be aware of when this does start. You know, the money is going to start coming out of their salaries. It will be topped up by the state and the employer, but just to make sure that budget-wise this is going to be something that they're going to be able to maintain for the greater good as well when it does come to themselves in retirement.
Very good. Okay, good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed, Hannah.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you. That's Hannah Drennan there, Senior Financial Advisor at Rockwell Financial, about this imminent implementation of the mandatory pension scheme.